Okay. Now, assuming I did this right, welcome to session 4. Before we start though, how'd you do with your homework last week?
Still struggling.
Okay. Well, I want to find out something, okay? Because I actually realized that I'm doing more of one thing in particular that we're asked to do, and I didn't realize how faithful I am. And one of them was, it says, do like the 5 text messaging or something, whether it's in Facebook or whatever. Are you in your Facebook every day?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay, all right. Well, what I do is usually at the end of the day, I go into my phone and I kind of try and get caught up. I do everything I can here to make sure that as far as breakthrough, I'm where I need to be. Especially since I have good news, I got an accepted deal, and so I'm thrilled to death with that. But I don't necessarily check my personal email every day. But I'm on Facebook every night.
Yeah.
Because I just love what people are doing or saying or whatever. And so when you look at it, that it says, are you daily keeping in contact with at least 5 different people? Yes, I am. So I was glad about that because I didn't realize, how consistent I was. So I was thrilled. I didn't do my 2 coffee meetings.
I tried to set one up, but he wasn't able to do it this
All right.
week. So.
But you made the attempt, which I
Yeah.
think is great. Great. So how are we doing as far as like adding to our database?
That's something I'm having problems with.
Okay, all right, we'll help you with that then, because whatever I get to do helps me to learn, and then if what I learned, if I'm able to pass that by, I love, then that means I learned right, But I'm excited. This listing, I put it together, Josh helped me finish the rest of it. Monday night, we were up until midnight working on it.
My goodness.
But what was great is that we launched it and then immediately had 3 showings Tuesday. Tuesday night I had an offer. And Wednesday, actually as of yesterday, we had an accepted deal. And so we're now starting the, the inspection period. But what I think is exciting is that I took advantage of, in Real Geeks, I created another ad, but I just posted it and then put it into Facebook. And then the other thing that I never ever realized is how in Facebook we can do group things.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh. Because it said that I had like 1,600 friends, and it's like, I do? But, so we're encouraged to keep it or try and build it up to 5,000. And the whole purpose is that by having just that initial base, when I post something and then everybody they know automatically gets it without me doing anything.
Right. That's how
And
you keep
that-
adding.
That's the whole purpose of adding them, because they're gonna, all of their friends automatically get what they get. And so that means it's being expanded. So I thought this is great. But Hour of Power, how are you doing on your calls?
Some.
I haven't started yet because I don't have my license officially
Okay,
yet.
but
so
you are in the process. What I love, Kim, is you are actually setting down, I think, the foundation and the
Yeah.
groundwork. So when you get your licensed girlfriend, you're gonna be ready to roll. So, and every day, positive things happening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I love today because he's gonna cover, it's how to generate more business, but specifically, it's how to make us marketable. So, are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's go for it.
Yep.
I have somebody else in this conversation.
All right. Welcome back to session 4. I know you're in massive action and the breakthroughs are happening, so congratulations. Today, we're going to show you how you can generate more business online. Who wants to get better online? I think that's going to be all of us. So we have 3 strategies we're going to be working with you on. Number 1, in your notes it says, helping you become more findable online, being more findable. Number 2 is driving traffic to your website. And number 3 is converting those online leads into customers and appointments. So I gotta warn you guys, get ready, because today we're gonna be adding a lot of projects to your do, doing, and done board. So here's my big question for you. When I search your name online, what shows up and where? Now, as the old joke goes, if I search your name and you're a real estate professional and you don't show up on the first page, do you even exist? Well, in the minds of customers and prospects, the answer is no. And that could be the difference when a customer's searching out 2 different agents, who they choose to work with and who they pass on. So we're going to do 2 things. 1, we're going to make sure that your profiles are filled out on the most important, most searched sites so you're easily findable. And number 2, we're going to make sure that you have one of the most important new marketing trends working in your favor. Sound good?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's start first with the sites and profiles you need to fill out. In no order of importance, they are, number 1, your Google profile, your Gmail account and information on you in Google. Number 2 is your Google Plus Local Places, which is a 1-page website on you professionally. Number 3 is, of course, LinkedIn, the professional world's 411. Number 4, are you all on Facebook? Right? I'm sure you are. The question is, do you have a Facebook business page set up? I'm going to assume you have your profile done, but if you haven't built a Facebook business page, I would encourage you to do so. Number 5 is Instagram. Number 6 is Twitter. Now, I'm not sure if you're on Twitter. If you are, follow me today at Tom Ferry. Twitter is a fantastic micro-blogging tool that allows you to stay up to date by following people that are of interest to you. So you might want to follow, for example, clients that you meet if they're on Twitter. But you might also want to follow some celebrities, some sports stars, some things that are, of course, of interest to you. And since we're doing this together, follow me and I'll follow you. Number 7 is YouTube. YouTube for sharing videos, which we're going to talk about today. Number 8 is ZRT, also known as Zillow, Realtor, and Trulia. So Zillow.com, Realtor.com, or .ca for my friends in Canada, and Trulia. All great sites that are super relevant to real estate professionals because that's where people are searching for you. And the last one, of course, is your company's website and your profile page. Now, take a look at that list. Some you already have, some you may have already finished, but here's my question. Are there any on there that you need to update or upgrade or make a little more relevant to the market today and what it is you're doing? So circle the ones that you need to either add or improve on and get them up on that do, doing, and done board we talked about 2 sessions ago. Now, here's what you need to know. As you're looking down that list, I recognize, as you do, the world is changing all the time, especially in the online world. I just Googled the following question. What are the most important new profiles I should be on in business? And guess what? You'll see a whole bunch of people writing blogs telling you the most important news sites and why. If you do that today, you might find 1 or 2 that I didn't mention, and I encourage you to add those as well. Now, let's talk about what should be on the profiles, because that's where I see a lot of people making mistakes. So in your workbook, we've given you a whole bunch of answers. Let's review it together. The basics are, of course, your name, your company name, your websites, if you have multiple, that's good. All contact information like your office and cell phone, your email, links to your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your YouTube account, your LinkedIn, and Zillow, and I'll explain more about Zillow in a minute. You should obviously include all education, school information, high schools. Isn't it funny when people search you out and they realize they went to the same high school as you, that there's instantly a little more relationship, a little more bond? So we want to put in everything. Schools, colleges, degrees. How about former places of work? Where did you work before you got into real estate? Remember, like attracts like. So if you worked at Ford and they worked at Ford, there's a connection that we don't want to pass by. As well, you want to make sure you add in all of your real estate designations. Any designations you've received should be added into every one of your profiles. And of course, if you speak more than one language, that should be in there as well. Now, it's really important in your notes to fill out the details on where you work, what cities and what communities that you serve, and most importantly, underline please, specialties that you have. Specialties that you have. You know, whether it's working with investors or condo specialists, whatever your specialty is, you want to put it inside there. Studies have shown that people want to work with specialists over a generalist. Now, all of this, my friends, is going to make you not only more findable, but it's going to make you more attractive to the people that are thinking about working with you. Does that all make sense?
Now, I'm going to stop this a moment. You know, what I thought was kind of cool is, and I'm curious to see when you start, you know, get active in the business, but Fred, considering how many years you've been in it, you know, listing homes entails a special set of duties, right? And then if I'm helping a buyer, that's a different set of duties, as well as, because your background has to do with like investment, commercial investment. But what I didn't realize is, do you have more fun doing the listings, because going out to find those, because that also includes then in marketing, how do you feel about the open houses, going door to door and all of that? And I didn't realize that, you know, not all people might like doing that, so they may not be a listing agent. It might be more fun for them to go out and find buyers' homes. And then that entails, you know, it's all set of stuff, because then you have to fuss with the inspection and making sure all of this other stuff. But there's like, it seems like more negotiating maybe that's involved there. But is it any less simpler? I think it just depends upon what you like to do, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was in a class yesterday and talking about investors, you know.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people that are sitting on cash today because there's no return in other instruments. And the opportunity is there, but they have to be taught. They don't know about the possibilities. And a lot of times people that are individuals, especially retired, they don't want to be totally involved in management. So if you can offer management services through and really talk to them about a return on their investment.
Absolutely.
And not only the return on the investment, what is the present cash flow, positive cash flow? What is the long-term price appreciation of the property?
Yep.
And working with them in areas of, that would be my expertise.
Okay, because I think it's interesting, like you said, it seems like the way the market is today, and the listing of this particular home that I did this week obviously says people are waiting for homes in that area to become available. And then if you do your homework and it's marketed right, and priced right, they're gonna hop on it. And that's what I think is exciting and makes me feel good about what I did for my client, and that the price we offered, you know, was definitely within what, well, what the buyer apparently was looking for. And
what the seller was willing to accept.
yeah, yeah, and so I think that's exciting. But what we're finding is like if you do what do you call it? Multifamily, and whether or not if it's more lucrative with the smaller, say like the 3, 4, or 5, probably what is it, under 6 qualifies for this, and then I think there's a different marketing for anything above. But it seems that that is where the money is being made, because people we still have people who are wanting to rent, and so I love our investment pieces that we've done. We have actually proven to our owners that you know how to make money and with their rental properties. And so I'm with you, Fred. I love the fact that now the other element that Breakthrough has is the property management, which makes you even more marketable and more attractive. I think when you go to do like that package deal, or when you're doing that initial presentation.
And there's like 3 different levels of investor. One is an office that's never done it.
Yeah.
People would be more inclined maybe to take on a home. Then there's the intermediate one that, well, it'll go both ways, maybe multiple homes or a 4-plex. Then there's the professional, and they already know what they want.
Yeah.
And there is different levels of investors, and it has to be marketed differently.
Okay. Well, think about what you think you're going to like to do. And I love that we have such a variety in real estate, that we're just not locked into one block, you know? So anyway, I just wanted to ask, so thank you. All right.
Now, is that a lot for you to do already? Well, just wait. Once they find you, this is the key, my friends, once they find you. In a recent report by Google and the National Association of Realtors, they let out something that I have been talking about for years. And that, of course, is reviews. In this report, Google and NAR stated that 29% of consumers selected their agent based upon reviews. Now, think for a moment. If I were to go and look for you online, how many reviews could I read from your former customers talking about experience in working with you? Now, what do we know? Peer-to-peer feedback, or word-of-mouth marketing, has always been a big part of real estate. The difference today is that it's just so much more scalable, and online it makes you more searchable and ultimately more attractive to potential prospects. Think about it this way. If I'm a customer and I want to sell my house and I meet 2 agents, maybe I receive marketing from 2 different people, I'm going to naturally search them both out online. I'm going to go to their website and do my research. What if one of them has tens of positive business reviews from their clients and one has no reviews? Who am I naturally going to select? What do you guys think? Right? All the studies and all the data from Google and NAR show that we're choosing reviews, that peer-to-peer referral, over just someone saying, you should call my buddy Larry, he's great. So we have got to generate more reviews on you and your business. Now the question is, where should we put those reviews? My 2 favorites are Zillow.com and LinkedIn.com. Greg Schwartz, an executive at Zillow, told me recently that agents with 5 or more reviews on their site receive 80% more leads. Think about that. If you're on Zillow today and you have no reviews, or you have 1 or 2 reviews, that means 80% of the prospects are passing you by and selecting an agent with multiple reviews. 80% more. So then the question is, how do we get these powerful reviews? We've included a sample email in your workbook that you can send off to your past clients that will nudge them and encourage them to write these great reviews on you. Now, I gotta bring it up. It happens all the time. Someone will say, but Tom, do I just send that to everybody in a blanket email? I don't think so. I think you should send it personally. Dear Tom and Kathy, how are you doing? How are the boys? How are the dogs? I wanted to follow up and let you know, and then you follow the email. So make it personal, make it individual. Another question that comes up a lot is, well, Tom, do I just send it to all of them or should I filter through? Well, here's the reality. If you screwed up badly on a transaction, I don't want you to ask that person for a review on one of these powerful websites. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So think through, who would be the best 5, 8, 10, 15, 20 people you could get a review from and ask them first. Now, if you're new to real estate, then start by having people who already know you write reviews on LinkedIn. Even though they're not going to be real estate specific in the beginning, they can speak to your character or your past experience, and that's better than nothing. Remember though, once you've completed a lease, listing taken, a sold, even a piece of land, any type of real estate transaction, you want to get that review and get it up on Zillow, and I put it on LinkedIn as well. Now, let's transition. We got a lot of work to do. We got all those sites, plus we know we need to do reviews. Is that right, everybody?
Right.
Okay, now the question is, how do we drive traffic to our website? Now I want you to consider in your notes, it says, there's only 3 reasons a consumer goes to a real estate agent's website. The number 1 reason is to see a specific property that you marketed, or they might want to search homes. But mostly they're going because you marketed a home through a mailer or an online ad or some kind of piece in the news, and they want to check out that property. Number 2, they want to prove, please write this down, that you are real. They want to know, do those smiling eyes, are they real? Can you really get the job done? Are you the best choice for me? Of course, when they read your reviews, they're going to validate their decision on why they should work with you. And then number 3, the only reason they go there is because we drove them there. So let's talk about each one. But first, do you all have a website?
Yes.
And how many of you have multiple websites? I'm curious.
I do.
Outstanding. One of my clients, Cliff, big shout out to Cliff, has over 40 different websites that he's using to drive business through a wide variety of channels. Now, I told you to build your Google Places as a one-page site. You simply cannot have enough, and here's why. Every day, I imagine my website as a 24-hour-a-day sales assistant that never sleeps. And she's going to generate leads for you as long as you continue to push traffic to her. So how do we do it? We're going to look at 2 options. In your notes, write down sweat equity versus check equity. The free model versus the paid model. Sweat equity versus check equity. We're going to start with the free model, or what I would call sweat equity. The first thing you want to do is say to yourself, it's time to start blogging. So go ahead and say that. It's time to start blogging. Now I know you've heard that a million times. I want to make it very easy for you. Blogging today is about photos, videos, or writing. You should decide which one you're best suited for. For me, even though I've written a New York Times bestseller, I struggle to write. But if you put a camera on me, I'm pretty good. So I'll go with video, where I know lots of agents today use the power of photography to show people and places and homes, and that today is also a form of blogging. If you're a terrific writer, then you should write. So again, your options are number 1, video. Record them and email them to clients. We're going to record them and email them to customers. Number 2, photo. We're going to take photos and we're going to send them out via email to our customers to keep them informed and empowered, whether it's to send us a referral or to just keep them aware of what's happening in the market. And number 3, you can write, right? You can write blogs about the market. You can write about home improvement. You can write about hundreds of other topics. The key is that once you write it, are you getting the consistent trend here? We're going to do it and then we're going to email it out to our database. That's a big part of how we're going to drive traffic. Now, in addition, please write this down. All of this can also be posted on Facebook. It could be on Twitter. It could be on LinkedIn, and it could also be placed on your website. So the key is, my friends, imagine it like this. The more places you spread your content, the more places you put your blog, video, written, or photo, the more you become findable for customers that are out searching every day. As we're recording this right now, were you aware that the average person spends over 2 hours a day on the internet? That's the average person. The average person, and 80% of their time today is spent on an app like Facebook or Tumblr or LinkedIn. So they're looking all the time at information. So we want to place as much information into the internet as possible to attract those eyeballs. Now, here's the key. People want to know, though, from you as a real estate professional, what's happening in the market. That's what they want to know. What's happening in the market? Now, I'm going to tell you, I know you might be watching this saying, whoa, I got to fill out all these profiles, I got to do reviews, and now you're telling me about videos and writing, and look at overwhelm, right? Okay, overwhelm is underplanned. Overwhelm is underplanned. I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're going to simplify this down to 1 or 2 things you're going to add in to your do, doing, and done board, add in to the time you're spent working on your business, and you'll get it done. So don't allow overwhelm to show up. I do this all day with people, and I got your back. Now, I do want to say to you, though, because people say to me, what's your personal favorite, and which one seems to be working the best? And I'll tell you, my friends, it's the power of video. If I went to your website today and I didn't see a single video, then I went to another agent's website and there I got just an introduction video, or a watch this if you're a first-time buyer, or thinking of selling your home, watch this, or questions about the market, watch this video. Which agent do you think you might go with if one had a static website and the other one had all these videos being recorded, bringing me information visually versus just maybe in written form? Which would you go with? Most of us would say video. Now I'm going to tell you personally, I used to be an audio blogger. It's called podcasts. And many years ago, I was on the golf course with a very good friend who said, hey, I've got a pal, he works with Google, is it okay if he joins us on the golf course? What do you think my answer was? I turned to the guy, introduced myself, and said, would you like me to carry your bag? Right? I mean, I'll do whatever it takes, I want to know. So he and I start walking and talking, and he's a pretty high-level Google guy, and as we were chatting, he said, what business are you in? And I was explaining it, and he said, do you blog? And I said, as a matter of fact, I do. And he kind of gave me like a yes, right? Because he's Google, right? He wants us to do this. He said, what blogging medium did you choose? And I said, well, don't tell my publishers, but I'm not a very good writer, so I'm doing podcasts. And he looked at me and said, how long have you been doing that? I said, well, I've done about 50 so far. I'm doing, one every other week, just kind of sharing all this information in audio form. And he looked me right in the eyes. The guy at Google had said, podcasts are stupid. Yeah. What do you do if the guy at Google tells you that what you've been doing for the last, 35, 40 weeks is stupid? What do? No, you do what I did. What do you recommend? That's what I asked. And guess what he told me? He said, a few years ago I was on a project group. We bought a little company called YouTube. Are you familiar with them? I said, as a matter of fact, I am. And for the next 9 holes, all I did is ask him about YouTube and what's going to happen and why is it important and the future of it. And he was saying to me back then, Tom, we live in the stream economy. People want information and they want it fast. And where do they want it, my friends? Yeah. Right? Spending 2 hours a day on their mobile device, 80% of the time on their apps, YouTube being an app. It hit me that day that, you know what? I could get in front of, back then, I'm dating myself, remember flip video cameras, right? I got in front of a little flip video camera, started a little show called Life by Design, and over 1 million views later, I just received, just a few nights ago, an email from a gentleman in Congo, as in Africa. So big shout out to my friends in Africa who said, I've been watching your videos. Thank you so much for what you do. When are you coming to Congo? Well, here's what's great. I don't have to go to Congo. I can show up every day on their cell phone, on their iPad, and on their desktop with the power of YouTube. So I'd like you to do the same thing that I did that day. In your notes, you see this question. What are my prospects and clients interested in? What are my prospects and clients interested in? If you just take the time to brainstorm that question, you're going to come up with a whole bunch of ideas that you can put on short videos on your website, your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, and more. Consider the following in your notes. It says you could interview local business owners. Would that be a good idea? Okay, how about the school administrator at the 2 or 3 schools in the communities that you serve? Do buyers ever ask you, what are the schools like, and can you tell me more? We find that that is something that they're clicking on when they're going to an agent's site to find out more information. What if when I got to that site, I saw a video of you arm in arm with the principal talking about the school? Well, guess what? His brand comes off to your brand. He's giving you the power, or she's giving you the power as you're doing this powerful little 2-minute video. So the list is endless. Politicians, the new book club members in your farm, the Saturday morning farmers market, people and places and things that are meaningful to your community. Now, as I said to you, I'm a big fan of video. And if I could wave a magic wand, I'd ask all of you to start a weekly show called Real Estate in, fill in your city, or fill in your town. Write that down. Real Estate in, fill in your city, fill in your town. So real estate in Denver. But you might go more local if you work, the southwest part of Denver as an example. So be as local as possible, because by the way, a huge benefit of video, when you post that video on YouTube and it says in your text, homes for sale in, name the city or name the community, that's giving you some search engine optimization, some Google juice, as they call it. So there's a lot of value to a show about your local community. So think about it. What if just once a week you sat with some kind of video recording device, which could be, by the way, as simple as this today, and you just shared what was going on in the real estate community for the last week? I live in Irvine Terrace. What if I just did Irvine Terrace Real Estate News? Hi, it's Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate. In the last 5 days, we've had 4 new listings come on the market, 2 of which sold within the first 5 days, and 2 are scheduled to have big open houses this week. Both properties that sold were listed at X, and we believe they are pending at a higher price than the original list price. That's good news for you living inside the community, which means your home values are going up. If you have any questions about those 2 properties or the 2 that haven't sold, feel free to call me today at 555-1212, your Irvine Terrace real estate expert. Thanks again, take care, boom, and the video ends. Now, I know you might be sitting here watching saying, Tom, can I get that in the script and just read that once a week? Here's my point. Do you think I've done a few videos? Practice makes perfect, correct? So the first time you do a video, you'll go like this. Oh my goodness, is my hair okay? And then you'll get your hair right, and then you'll do a couple videos, and guess what? You know what I love? The beautiful thing about videos today, think about the most popular videos you've ever watched on YouTube. They're always a little raw. They're not that perfect, totally organized, well-scripted. They're real. Authenticity rules in the world of videos. Write that down. Authenticity. Be yourself. Now, in addition, in your notes, a very powerful marketing strategy we'll be talking about in session 9 on how to list more homes is to do the following. Write this down. I believe you should record a video of the home you just listed as a coming soon promotion that you can email out to your database to let them know it's available before it hits the MLS. What a powerful strategy to perhaps record the video before you even list the house. Have you ever been asked this question by a seller? What are you going to do to get my home sold? You guys ever been asked that?
Yeah.
What if you immediately turned to them and said, well, here's an example, and you played the video right on your phone of you talking about the home that you just listed for sale that they haven't signed the agreement yet. Boy, you want to talk about assuming the sale? That's a big one. Think about how you could incorporate that one ASAP. Now, in addition, I'd like you to create or consider creating videos for marketing projects. So let's write that down. Marketing projects. For example, if you want to work with more first-time buyers, could you do a video or two on mistakes to avoid as a first-time buyer? Could you all speak to that? What if you were specializing in move-up buyers, people that were maybe selling a condo and buying a bigger home, or selling a smaller home and looking to buy a bigger one? Could you do a video called 3 Important Steps in Your Move-Up Process? Of course you could. The list goes on and on and on. The point is this, my friends. We live in the stream economy. People want information and they want it fast. And as we start talking about marketing strategies, one of the big ones is the law of contrast. Write that down. The law of contrast. And the law of contrast is simply this. If everyone else isn't doing videos and you are doing videos, you can begin to contrast the power of that with your prospects. Does that make sense? Right? Giving them the reasons why video is important. Asking them, do they ever go on YouTube? Asking them when they're on websites, do they watch videos when they're there? All of the data shows us that when potential home buyers are looking on websites, they're looking at photos first, and the second thing they're looking for is a video on that home. So whether you decide to just do a weekend review, or you decide to do a couple interviews with important people in your community, I encourage you today to make the decision to do some videos. Now remember, a few sessions back, I said to you, courage is the beginning of power. And I know that today asking you to maybe do some videos might get you a little outside of your comfort zone. Right or wrong, guys? I'd like you to consider the following. All financial transformation occurs when you break outside of your comfort zone. Remember that glass ceiling we talked about in session 1? If that glass ceiling, when you look up, it says, I'm afraid to do videos, that could be one of the areas we have absolutely got to break through. So tell me right now on video, or tell someone that you're sitting with, that you're committed to record at least one video in the next 30 days. Say it right now.
Okay.
You did, didn't you?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Her turn.
My turn. I can pretend.
So you made some powerful decisions. Congratulations.
Okay.
Now,
Because one of the things that we will do is, like, for example, you've got John that you're putting together his portal. But now you want, it's like, I need your home. I have a guy that needs this and this and this and this. And because these homes, you know, like this one just sold and stuff, so I want your home. That's what I'm thinking would help.
We're talking about getting new listings, right?
Yes, yes, but you want
More
to help,
specific to
but
this.
somebody might say, oh, you know what, I saw your video that you're looking for a home with such and such and such, because you want to find John the right house. And because I have to do that for a couple, and everything they're looking for, nothing seems to be available. So I went into Monsoon and found a list of homes, and so I took 8 that I'm actually gonna go door knocking and saying, I think I have a buyer for a home, would you sell it?
Wow, okay.
And so why not post the video then and put that in Facebook, and then somebody would contact to say, Fred, I think I have the house John's looking for. So when we're done here, I'm gonna have us separate, and we're gonna post a self-video. Okay? And I want us to put it on Facebook. All right?
Oh my goodness.
That's a tall task.
That is. I've never
Well, it's a
done
good thing we're all
video.
looking good
I
today.
know.
All right, okay, here we go, all right.
let's talk about check equity, because all of the that we just discussed was sweat equity. You and a phone, you and a camera, you writing, you typing, you blogging. All of that is free and anyone can do it, and you can do it almost any time of the day. Now let's discuss check equity. If you're going to get out your checkbook and you're going to write checks to build your business online, I want you to consider the following. In your notes, write this down. Today, the best option for agents to advertise is through Zillow.com. Zillow.com for a very...
Hold on, really? I didn't find that, so.
Everybody is on there.
I don't think so.
Who said that?
Julie,
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
hi.
Too many people on there.
Sorry, that's my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm. I just find that Zillow, you still don't get the accurate information
No,
you're
you
looking
don't.
for. It's just enough to pull you in and kind of sucker you a little bit.
Yep.
Is that your
Yep.
thought?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so moving on.
very small monthly fee, the average agent generates 12 plus leads a month. Now remember what I said to you a few sessions ago, that it's 50 conversations to
All right,
one sale
so turn
made?
to 50,
Of the thousands of people we're coaching that are using Zillow today, they're telling us it's more like 25 leads to one sale. That's a substantial shift and a great adjustment to their business. Now, remember, I'm the guy that wants you to have lots of different ways you're generating customers. I want you getting online business, I want you getting referrals, I want you doing open houses, I want you doing it all. So think about it. If you're going to get out your checkbook, take a look at Zillow. The second one I want you to look at is advertising specifically on Google. You know when you go to Google, you see the stuff in yellow? Those are all advertisements. We call it pay-per-click, or they call it pay-per-click advertising. Is there anybody in the room that's done a little pay-per-click advertising? Okay? I like it a lot. I'm a big fan because the numbers always work in my favor. You could type in, for example, I only want to advertise when a person types in looking for homes in and name the city. Now, if someone's typing into Google looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath condo, in community X, if you work that area, do you want that lead? Well, Google gives you that opportunity, and again, like Zillow, it's a small amount of money to pay, to invest, to get that traffic and generate those results. Now, I am going to say this to you. If you've never advertised online, I would highly encourage you to start with a company like Zillow, right? Since the people that are going to their site, the 78 million people.
My thought is this. You just want to get the contact. Then you lead them when you bring them in through Zillow and take them to your
Yes.
YouTube
Yes.
by links.
Yeah, if to your video, you mean, to
To your
YouTube?
YouTube,
Yep.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then you're going to get specific.
But see, the cool thing too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm doing my video, we have several places we can post that video. So I can post it
Besides
in
Zillow, yeah.
Facebook, I can post it in YouTube, I can, maybe, and I haven't played with Zillow enough. I did create an account just so I can see what people are looking at, and stuff, but,
And
yeah.
I would think that if the other avenues are working for you, don't spend the money on Zillow.
No, right now, free's wonderful. Okay, good question, good thought.
People that have already been to their site.
Sorry, go
When
ahead.
was the video made?
This video?
Yeah.
That's a good question. 19, hold on a sec. He did this, it's probably, it's a few years old.
So maybe there's been a shift since.
That could be, and that might be worth checking into, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of avenues to drive business.
Absolutely.
To get a Zestimate, 78 million, my friends. But the 35 to 40 million people that are going every month are interested in finding real estate agents and finding houses. Now, in both cases, you can contact these companies and, go online, do your research, but ultimately, here's what you're looking for. Another channel of leads coming in. Does that make sense? That's what we want. And just like that, you're in the game. So far, we have talked about making you more findable, right? We've also discussed how you're going to generate 5 or more reviews, right everybody? Okay, 5 or more, and I have to tell you, we have clients today with 35 and 40 reviews. As the word continues to travel around the industry and more people begin to get reviews, if you stop at 5 when 40 was available, that is going to bite you later on. So get as many as you can on those sites, because you just simply cannot have enough good word about you from your customers on your sites. So, in addition, we talked about how you're going to generate more traffic. So now, let's talk about what we have to do to convert more of those online leads. But first, I'm just curious, how many of you are getting online leads today? Is there anybody that's watching right now that you've ever looked at a lead and just thought to yourself, I'm not even following up? Have you been there before? Whether the price was wrong or the area was outside of your geographic territory you want to work, here's what I want you to consider. When you make the choice to not follow up on that lead, you're actually tarnishing your brand. That customer took the time to fill out information for you to follow up on. And I want you to really get, you've got to have the courtesy to respond. Even if your response is just, hey, that's not an area I work, would you like me to help you find another agent there and collect a referral fee? That's better than the choice to not follow up at all. Do you all get that? It's so important for your brand offline and online to be responsive, So earlier I said to you, we live in the stream economy. When I said that to you, we know that people are getting information from their smartphones faster and faster, which means they also want faster and faster response times. So in the world of online marketing, studies have shown 60, 30, and 15. And what...
I am so sorry. I gotta figure out.
This is a background information from Julie.
Let me see here.
Something going on in her office.
Yeah. But I gotta, how do
And he said it's
Who's that girl? Is that Julie?
it should be bigger, or it's a
That's
60
Julie,
it should
yeah.
be. I can't remember that.
Now, this is cool that I brought her in,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
don't know.
so too.
apparently it is, and Brian said that we actually
I don't know how
pulled it
to,
up.
adjust.
Got it, Joel. And, yeah. Yeah, no, the main panel outside, got it, Joel. Oh, I would check on that,
Okay, here, let me see. Oh, here. let's
yeah,
see.
ask Brian, because he's a really good guy, and he told me, by the way, he knows the guy that did the inspection on here.
I think that,
Oh, you just turned it down.
all right, I am so sorry.
Oh, no
I will
problem.
learn, I'm thrilled to death that I brought her
Oh,
in
yeah.
and stuff, and so, I'll learn.
Is she the only one that's on it?
Right now, yeah. Oh, now I muted him though.
Oh, no.
All right, here, wait a minute. Oh, gosh, guys. All right, we're kind of stuck if we do, and, all right.
Oh, boy.
in the middle of something, are you free in 30 minutes or an hour? Even that is better than no response. Today, though, when you look at that report, it says under 15 minutes, that's where you start to really get a high conversion.
Because I
So
have to
you
figure out
also
how
imagine
they can just
that as we're
type
recording this today,
and
I want you to be thinking everything that comes in, I respond to under 5
Is she
minutes.
doing it by computer?
Write down your notes right now.
Maybe she
What
can
would
mute
have to
her.
change for you to follow up on leads in under 5 minutes as they come in? What would have to change? You probably need to know what to send them, right? You probably need to have some dialogue in terms of, I can either talk to you now or I can talk to you
Figure
later.
these things out.
You might also want to
You're
have
getting
some
gooder
way
and
to
gooder
track
all the
the
time.
phone number in case it's just an email. Are you with me on this? But the big decision you need to make is the choice. Are you going to allow yourself, ready guys, to be interrupted by someone that might want to buy a house? Are you going to allow that interruption?
Yep.
I hope the answer is yes, because today, speed to lead is the game. Speed to lead. That's the game. We want to reach out to that customer in under 5 minutes. So let's take a look at the most common email leads you would receive. We identified 2 that every one of you that's generating leads, you've received one of these. The first one is they ask something like, is that property still available? Do you guys get that lead? Now some people say, well, gosh, maybe they're already working with another agent. Do I need to follow up? Do I just say, yes, it is, no, it isn't? This is a potential customer. This is an opportunity. I follow this mindset every day. Every person that I meet could open a brand new door of referrals, of opportunities, of breakthroughs in my business. So I treat every prospect, every customer with the utmost of respect and dignity, because you just never know who you're dealing with. Right or wrong, my friends. So speed to lead. If they ask about a property, yes it is, and can I help you? And there's other properties that might be available. Would you be interested in that? Etc. The second email that we get is, hey, I'd like to see the home at X, on X Street. Can you show it to me? Do you guys ever get those leads?
Yeah.
Here's what you should be thinking. Today, that person might be sitting in front of the house as they're typing that in. Can you show me? So here's what I wrote down for you. Very important distinction. Please write this down. If you have a lead with no phone number to call, you do not have a lead. How many of you get that?
That's good, because we'll
Okay,
talk
if there's
about
no
that
phone
a
number to
little
call,
bit.
you do not have a lead.
Just an
So now we've got to
email,
discuss
you've
a
got
very important distinction. If you have a phone number on that lead, what should you do? You should call immediately. Remember, speed to lead. Now, if you're sitting there and you're involved in lots of activities, could you send them a text message? The answer is of course you can. You can send them a text that just says, hi Dave, I'm free to talk about that property in 25 minutes. Can you talk then? And that instant feedback you're going to get from the customers is outstanding. Write down this number. 90% of all text messages, the client responds in under 5 minutes. 90% of all text messages get a response in under 5 minutes. So you get the lead via email, you've got the number, you send them a text, hey, it's Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate. I'm busy right now, but I'll be free to talk to you about that property in the next 15 minutes. Can you chat then? That text is getting a response like this. Sure sounds great. And then what do? We call them in 15 minutes. This can be, by the way, a very effective hoop that you can make a prospect jump through to also see how committed they are to getting the information or their seriousness of buying a home. If you text and they don't respond, either they're already talking with another agent or they just weren't that serious about the information. Now, write down the next important distinction in your notes. Ready? Write down, if you have no phone number, you do not have a lead. If you have no phone number, you do not have a lead. Does that make sense, my friends?
Yeah.
Have you ever chased an anonymous email address in your business? When you have a phone number, now I've got a way to get them on the phone and start asking some questions to really find out if they have problems, then I can help them solve. So you're going to use the following email to flush out any lead you receive that doesn't have a phone number. Take a look at it inside your workbook. The email goes like this. Thanks for your inquiry. I'm here to help. Now, if you're an exclamation point kind of person, you can put an exclamation point behind, I'm here to help. What's the best way to connect? Question mark. Cell is best for me, and my number is, and you give them your cell phone. 555-1212. I'm free to talk now. Are you? Or I'm free to talk in 20 minutes. Are you? Now, here's what we know, because we taught this actually in 3 different email samples to our clients, and we found that this particular email got the best response, which is why I'm sharing it with you. You can count on sending this email out, and 50% of the time, the people responding back to you with a phone number, and sometimes they call you. When you say, I'm free to chat now, are you? Here's my number. Sometimes they just pick up the phone and call, and now you're in the game. And just like that, you've taken them from the online electric world to the offline world, talking with you. So if the email lead, by the way, doesn't respond to you with a number, do you have to make a decision? What do you think? Here's the two choices inside your workbook. Number one, if they don't respond, you can keep the email lead and add them to your email database and check on them periodically. Is that an option for you?
Until they tell you no.
Option two is you can delete the lead, and as many of my friends say, remember, there are more nuts than there are squirrels to eat them. If they're not going to respond, some people just write them off. So my question for you is, which will you do? Personally, if you were asking me, I would keep them, and I would continue to send them nudge emails. I would continue to send them market updates, because we have hundreds and hundreds of great stories from clients that said, I generated this lead online 4 years ago, and they just bought a big expensive home for me. It costs you nothing to email and follow up now and then, but the choice is entirely yours. Now, once we get them on the phone, let's talk about that. Now that they're talking to us, all my purpose is to qualify and set an appointment. So in your workbook, take a minute and review the Buyer Unique Selling Proposition script, the Buyer USP, and the qualifying script. The Buyer USP will allow you to hook the buyer by creating interest and helping them understand you know where they're at, you know what their problems are, and most importantly, you have a solution to help them buy that next home. So look at those two scripts, and let's begin to incorporate them as these leads are coming in. The bottom line is, by using these two dialogues, you're going to schedule more appointments, and you're going to disqualify, perhaps, a few buyers or sellers you decide not to work with, saving you time, and most importantly, getting the appointments with the ones you need. So as we wrap up session 4, are you feeling perhaps a little overwhelmed? What do you guys think? It's okay. You're growing your business, and you're doing it by design. Remember, overwhelm is simply being underplanned. So what do you think we're going to do right now? Let's get our workbook out, and let's make some decisions about what we want to get done this week and how we're to continue to make the breakthrough in our performance happen. So in your workbook, write down number 1. I want you to continue to do and schedule an hour of power every day. How often do I want you to do it? How often, my friends?
Every day.
Every day. Number 2, I need you to schedule an hour or 2 to work on your business this week. An hour or 2, for example. Give yourself the gift of some time to fill out your profiles and get all those sites done. By the way, one of the 2 solutions that I use all the time, and there's 2 great ones you should consider. One is a website called Fiverr, Fiverr, 2 R's, 5 with 2 R's.com, or odesk.com. Both of these sites have hundreds, if not thousands of people that specialize in doing all these little projects you want done virtually or in the clouds. So would it be worth it, perhaps, to spend a little more than $5 to have some of those profiles finished for you so you can just get it done? If the answer is yes, check out Fiverr.com or odesk.com as a way to outsource some of these projects. And that, by the way, removes some of the overwhelm. I would encourage you to add the dialogues that we've discussed, all those little scripts that we've given you today, whether you decide to put them on your phone so you can just copy and paste when the online lead comes in, or you begin to hang them up in your environment as a constant reminder that when I'm talking to a customer, these are the questions I want to ask to convert. The last thing I wrote down is, I want you to make a decision on your way to generate more online leads. Is it going to be sweat equity or check equity? By the way, I want to talk about this because people ask me all the time, what should I do? If you're questioning it, I'm going to guess that sweat equity is the right move for you. And this is what I want to share with you. In the very beginning of building my business, I used sweat equity, doing those videos to get the word out. And today, with over 1 million views on YouTube, It's become a terrific way to get the word out, my message out, and meet millions of people. Guess what? Sweat equity in the very beginning gave me check equity. So don't allow the lack of resources to stop you. Roll up your sleeves and get to work. Whether it's writing, or it's photos, or it's video blogging, the bottom line is this: be resourceful. Don't blame resources. So, as we wrap it up, I can't wait to see you in session 5, where we're going to talk about mega open houses. Do you all want to learn how to attract listings from open houses? Well, that's session 5. I can't wait to see you. Stay in massive action. See you soon. Are you feeling slightly overwhelmed with all this new technology? There's a pretty good chance you are.
Yeah.
It's okay. The good news is you can watch this session again, which I would encourage you to do. Many have done it before you. Also, when you go back to TomFerry.com, under the Breakthrough by Design session, I put together a few video tutorials for you that will walk you through each one of these, from creating that first video to how to get it out in the marketplace. All that you need is there. Just go back to TomFerry.com, Breakthrough by Design, and look at the video tutorials. There's no room in your breakthrough for overwhelm right now. We've got to stay in action. So watch the session again, or go back to TomFerry.com, take a look at the video tutorials so you know exactly what you have to do.
What method do you have for LinkedIn?
I did it in, it's called Google Hangout.
Hangout?
Yeah. Hey, Miss Julie?
But this, I mean, it's.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the call. Julie, I'm leaving you.
She doesn't listen, she just talks.
Okay, but next week, so I'm thrilled to death that I was able to figure out how to bring her in. I didn't realize that their noise was our noise, but thank you so much. But this is another thing that Josh has brought in that says if I'm not able to be here, I can do it from home or whatever, and it's still, that's why it's like, oh my gosh, this is just so cool what we get to do.
So do we have little cameras on our phone up here?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the way that she's communicating?
And I invited everybody to come in, so they all could have popped in. So I gave them the URL to type in, and that's why we were able to hear her. Oh, so, I gotta find out if the recording, if I had it set right, you know, it's like, I love what we get to do. All right, so what I want us to do is just really fast, like for you to try doing a selfie, okay?
Selfies.
Well, I do too, because my nose just seems to look ginormous. And
I
so,
always feel like
Don't do a side profile.
I look tired because you know.
but what I want is, so I want you to think about something you can say to throw yourself out there, and let's just put it on our Facebook today, okay? Just to see if we get responses. And for you, so I want to throw out for you, Fred, why not? Because he has a client that now is ready to buy a home in Sun City West, or Grant. And so he's looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And so you are gonna say, I need your home. Do you have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, you know, somewhere between 1,200 to 1,500 square feet, because I wanna sell your home, I have a buyer. And just keep it simple. That's under 1 minute probably,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is, guess what I just did? I listed a home and I found a buyer, or I listed a home, had it marketed and in such a way that we sold it in less than 2 days. So I can help you sell your home. Call me. This is Charlotte at. That's what I'm going to do.
Ooh, you were good with that. Josh was just talking to me last night about, how most of us tend to upswing too much when we're talking to people.
Yeah.
But that was good. You actually did, like he was saying, stand up and talk like you would and use body language. So at the end of the sentence, you do like a karate chop, cause you wanna make it more firm and not so, cause you're almost doing it like a question and letting them off the hook
Exactly.
when you upswing. But that's just so normal for voice patterns there with your tone.
So when you look at what's in here and you see the dot, 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 dot,
Uh-huh.
that is a pause. So that means, say, like, for example, what price are you looking at? Oh, great! But when it comes, so like down on 5, do you need to sell before buying? Oh, excellent. What we can do is meet to discuss what your home is worth in today's market, as well as what is available to you to purchase. So in other words, you're doing those necessary pause. And Josh said that what he's having fun with apparently these last 3 days is they are having them actually practice. So this is a working seminar that they're going to. And it's like, let's see you do it so that you can go out there and do it.
I wish I would've just signed up. I was going to and just, use my credit card or
Are
something,
you still
but
living in
finances
Tucson?
are so tight that I really wish I would've done
Are
it.
you
We're
still
gonna
living in
get
Tucson?
there.
You
We're
drove
gonna
up this
get there.
morning?
Last night.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop the video for right now, and because I think we're good, because I want to send you off to your rooms. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Do we get to use the fancy camera stuff?